Hey, how's it going? It's Ollie here. So, welcome to another episode of Niche Spotlight. So, today we're going to be looking at the niche retractable measuring tape. Should you sell this on Amazon or should you avoid it at all costs? Well, let's have a look. As always, I have my handy smash sheet product analysis cheat sheet. As you can see, it's very professionally designed by a professional graphic designer, me. And you can't really get more clean design than this. It's just beautiful, and you can really read my handwriting clearly as well, which is good to see. So we're going to start with the high demand. Is there enough demand for this? Do people want to buy retractable measuring tape on Amazon? Well, let's have a look. We want at least 3 sellers making 3k a month. There's 1, 2, 3, right? So there's just enough demand in this niche. And there's a lot of other sellers doing alright. So I'd say there's medium to high demand. People want this. You know, it's good enough. It's a niche that's probably on the rise. Maybe in the future it'll get better. Maybe not. What about low competition? How many established sellers with more than 500 reviews are there? Let's have a look. Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Established sellers. So it's not low competition, it's medium competition, right? So that means if you offer your product in this niche, you're going to have to essentially beat 8 sellers, have a product that's better than those 8 sellers or different to those 8 sellers, and possibly the cost per click, the marketing costs, the advertising costs are going to be a bit higher because everybody's fighting to get their advert placed at high on page 1, which means the cost per click, which might be a bit higher. So yeah, could be an issue there. What about brand? Are there any brands in this page? Well, as far as I can tell, I don't think any of these brands are famous, which is kind of surprising because, you know, there's some brands that do make these products. I would imagine like DeWalt would have made one, but perhaps this isn't the DIY kind of oh, here we are. I thought like DeWalt or somebody like that would have made something like this for builders, you know, a retractable measuring tape, but it's not under this keyword, so we don't really need to worry about it. Maybe Astorn is a brand that people know about. Let's type that into Google and see. Astorn. Yeah, it's just an Amazon private label seller, basically. As you can see, there's nothing here except for just a Astorn Limited. There's no, for example, if we type in Nike, you can see loads of information comes up here. You can see their products in loads of different stores. Same thing if we type in like DeWalt. You can tell by Google instantly that's a big brand. Right? The products are in loads of companies. Interestingly, not too much comes up here, but they've got their own website. They've got their products on all these stores, screwfix.com and stuff. You can see locations, and then just quite a big brand. All right, but there isn't any of that on this page, so no brands. What about low hassle? Could we make this ourselves? Well, yeah, it's a relatively simple thing, right? It's a bit of tape with the circular spinny thing in the middle, right, and a disc that's kind of contained. Could I make it myself? In theory, yes. I mean, I understand how it's constructed. It's quite easy to put together, right? Again, it's not that I'm going to do that. I'm not going to make it myself, but it's easy enough to put together, right? It's not like, you know, a fridge or something really complicated. You know, it's fairly simple. So in terms of low hassle, we can make it ourselves. Is it in a low hassle category? Well, this current category we're looking at is home and kitchen, and therefore, yes. Probably other ones will be listed in DIY and tools, which again can be a low hassle category, but I just haven't listed it here because a lot of it's covered in home and kitchen. What about seasonal? I don't think this is seasonal. I don't see people using measuring tape certain times of the year. If you really wanted, we could look at the data and have a look at all the different sales history for each product and see, you know, are there certain times of the year that it sells well? But I just severely doubt that measuring tape is going to sell better at one time of year than another. Dimensions, obviously it's a very small light product, right? We know how big this is, it's very small. So it's a very low hassle niche, which is handy. What about gap? Are there any issues in the niche? Is there a gap in the market? Is there something that's not being solved that needs to be solved, or something that's not customers aren't happy about with the products that are selling very well? Well, this is a very simple measuring tape, right? I don't know if you could have too many problems with this, but let's see. Let's have a look at the reviews, see if there's any issues. I'm going to go to the 1-star reviews and see what people are whining about with a bit of measuring tape, which is going to be quite interesting. This person says it's not fiberglass, which means it's useless. Fiberglass? That's very interesting. Are we about to learn something about measuring tape that I didn't know before? Let's have a look. Fiberglass measuring tape. Why do you want your tape to be fiberglass? Is it fiberglass? I know nothing about measuring tape. Fiberglass tape we use for easy, accurate measuring, while also standing up to wear and tear at the job site. Not to mention the added safety from electrical hazards. You can find fiberglass tape measuring a variety of different units. That's very interesting. Safe to use around electrical hazards. They don't conduct electricity like steel tapes. Aha. Right. So this is something that's really important. Like when you're entering a niche as a seller, you want to understand everything about that niche. Right? You want to become an expert on the product. Like if you're going to be selling retractable measuring tape, you want to aim to be the most knowledgeable person on the planet about this product, and you really want to become the customer. It can actually be good to buy some of the competitors' products yourself, try and use it yourself, and see for yourself what the issues are with the product. Then you'll get more ideas to actually add value to the market and make your product better than everybody else's, which is going to enable you to charge more, make more profit, grow your business faster, launch more products, and there's just so many benefits to it. So really aim to understand your niche as well as you possibly can. Now we know that the tape is meant to be fiberglass. All right, so one way we could add value to this niche is offer a fiberglass measuring tape to the customers, because that's clearly something they want. So yes, in other words, there are issues in the niche. Are there any bundles? Are people offering a bonus thing with the measuring tape? Well, as far as I can see, they're just offering the measuring tape by itself. Okay, this is a bundle: 4 pieces body measuring tape, soft retractable measuring tape, body fat caliper, arms, chest, thigh, or waist measuring tape, and it's got really bad reviews, unfortunately. All right. So there is a bundle, but for some reason it's performing very badly, maybe because it's bad quality or something like that. So there aren't no bundles, but we could certainly offer a better bundle than that if it's got such bad reviews. Alright, so another interesting niche. Definitely not one of the strongest ones I've seen, but it does have some potential. So let's round things up. What score am I going to give this for high demand? Well, there are 3 sellers, 3 established sellers. Sorry, 3 3K sellers, right? There's a few who are close, but it's not super high demand. It's I'd say high enough demand, but barely. So I'm going to give this a 13 for high demand. What about low competition? Well, I think it was 8 established sellers, definitely more than 5, and there are definitely no brands on page 1. So I'm going to give this a 10 for low competition. It's compared to the demand, the competition is definitely too high, right? Because it's a relatively small pie and lots of people are fighting for a slice of the pie, which is not the best situation. You want a big pie and not many people fighting for a slice, which means it's easier to go out there and get some cash from the niche. You could definitely compete in this niche, but you'd have to put in a lot of work to get not a lot of revenue, which is not really what we want. What about low hassle? Well, it's very low hassle. I'm going to have to give it 18 out of 20. It's almost perfect. We can make it ourselves. It's a low hassle category. It's not seasonal, and the dimensions are great. Extremely low hassle product. What about a gap in the marketplace? Well, there's a gap. Yep, people want fiberglass tape, and there's a bundle right now, but it's rubbish, so I didn't even count it. So there are gaps. I'm going to give this a 13 for gap in the marketplace because it's good. It's not the biggest gaps I've ever seen, but it's pretty good. So what about hunch? Hunch for this niche. How do I feel about it? Based on my experience, how well will it perform? Well, the demand's barely high enough, but it is there. Competition isn't low. Definitely low hassle. Bit of a gap in the marketplace. However, there's one big problem with this niche, and that's the price point. It's going to be quite difficult to make decent money when the price point is so low. Right, it's very, very, very low. Now, can you make money? Yes, you can. It's just your margins are going to be very tight. Now, I actually have a few clients whose products are like $5.99, and they've been making £1,000 a month profit with their products for years, and they're still selling really well. So you can sell cheap products and make profit, but the problem is your margins are going to be squished. And so you have to source the product really cheap. You have to get the shipping really cheap. And, you know, they're all quite big ifs, right? If you can get the product cheap, the shipping cheap, then you can make profit, but it's quite a big if. So, yeah, I would be careful with this niche. There are issues. I'm going to give this an 8 for hunch, because I don't feel too confident about it. 8 out of 20. Alright, let's total up these scores and see how the product fares out of 100 as a smash hit product or not. So, 13 for high demand, 10 for competition, 18 for gap for low hassle, 13 for gap, 8 for hunch, gives us 62 out of 100 for this product. Is it the perfect product to sell? No. Is there an opportunity? Yes, if you can add value, if you can source it cheap enough to make profit. Two big ifs. So, I hope you found this video valuable. I hope it gave you some insight into what kind of products we're looking for on Amazon. If you want me to personally help you research a product to sell on your Amazon account, then book in a free Amazon Accelerator call in the description below. What we'll do, we'll talk about your goals first, get really clear on the type of business you want to build, what kind of products you want to sell, how much money you want to make, where you want to live, all that stuff. Get clear on your goals. Then we'll get clear on where you're starting from. So what experience do you have? How much budget do you have? How much time can you put in? Once we know those two things, where you're starting from and where you want to go, then we'll map out a plan together for how you're going to get there in the quickest possible time. And once we're clear on that plan, then we can figure out the best way we can work together. If you want to, we can have a conversation about that. And there's ways I can help. We can research the product for you and make sure you have a product that's way better than this one. We can help you get the products imported from China and shipped into your Amazon account. We can give you one-to-one coaching, hold your hand along the way. We can get your listing written. There's loads of stuff we can do for you. So if you want to get started, click the link in the description. We can book in our call and we'll get moving very, very soon. Thanks so much for watching this video, and hit subscribe, hit like, book in your call if you want to have a chat, and we'll catch up very soon.